Yeah.
kind of versatile.
Yeah. Carry out these things like that.
Yeah. I don't wear a lot of necklaces, but it's easy.
Yeah. So what's left to plan?
Not a whole lot. Honestly,
Yay.
we met with a consignment rental place for like signs and ready like decor and stuff. So everything that we still needed for the reception and the ceremony is taken care of. And I just need to get them a couple of jobs and then I'll have all of the ceremony. Because I got my second for the couple, we still need wine.
Yeah.
I have to find a place to make them for wine. But yeah, we're, waiting for the RSVP date is Sunday, so I'm gonna start calling people, and then they have like so these invitations like here Monday, and he's off for Easter Monday, so I was like, this is great, you can call everybody who hasn't registered their RSVP yet, and then we can address and send out to around, so we'll have it like on that number a month before, so we can send it out to everybody. So we have a month to get that number in.
Oh, fun. Yeah. Oh, fun.
Looking forward to that.
How many people are going to that?
Just me and Callie, and then my resident Texas and lives there because he's out by Harrisburg. I actually haven't seen him since he moved, like almost 2 years ago. So I'm really excited to see him. But yeah, we went to an Airbnb and we're just gonna hang out, do some stuff in the city. But a chance to get away and then I'm going home the last weekend of the month to do a late Seder. So like make it great. Both of them from scratch together and do all of that. So it's just kind of the last minute things. Another thing, weeks. So it's more of a like, last minute coordinating decisions and stuff like that. And it's all come together. So yeah. It's been like having a second job.
Yeah, for sure.
Very close friends.
Yeah. It's been a lot.
Oh, of course. It'd be lovely. Because you're lovely. And your room's pretty hot, so yeah.
That he is. And he's kind of a good guy.
You just have to.
They tell me.
Now, the dogs are not hysterical.
They are not, but what we did was we made some drinks made out of it. So we had the Athena and the Riley, and I custom ordered a sign with their pictures on it. The Athena is like, what's it? Juice and shit. It's like commercial cherry juice. So it's something for Athena. So you keep it because she's all like frozen. And then Riley's is like peanut butter. So that's kind of how we're incorporating the two of them.
What a great idea.
Thank you.
I'll have Nathaniel.
So it's kind of getting to that point where like we're getting into those like less, nitty gritty little like fun decisions. But yeah, it's like a month and a half now, which is just crazy. I can't believe it.
And then you take off right away for the honeymoon?
So we leave the wedding Saturday, and then Sunday we have a hotel reservation at the Sheraton in Pittsburgh. Because Monday morning our flight is late. 5 in the morning.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So I was like, let's just stay because we leave our car there. Perfect.
Yeah.
So the price is almost half. So we have to drop off the dogs and like say goodbye to the family, and then we'll be on. And then we come back that Saturday. Which is why it's making it. And then we have Memorial Day weekend. So we'll have the extra day of the weekend. Recoup before going back to work.
Real life sets in.
And then we start doing the weekend.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I'll go to Tuesday, back up and play.
myself first. Yeah, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went over and I'm also starting to get patio furniture for my Reese's room, and so I bought a Southern Living magazine and went all through and go, I like this one. Yeah.
See, that's the fun stuff.
Yeah, that's the fun stuff. Yeah. So slowly. Life goes on. Sure. Thank you. I don't know. I was just looking at flights.
Super depressing. The class this week. Like, I may not come next week. I love you, but I may not come next week.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
On this very, very beautiful sunny day, and as we begin to transition from all of the complexities of life and into this mythic world of Shabbat, we'll invite Fran forward to light our Shabbat candles, and that blessing can be found on page 2. Do you want help?
Mazel tov.
It's the Temple Anshe Chesed skill test.
I failed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
I think when the ancient rabbis called prayer avodah work, that's not what they meant. There we go. Let's turn together to page 10 as we join and begin to welcome Shabbat with Ma Yafeh Hayom, how beautiful this day really is. Shabbat Shalom, Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. We turn to page 12 and continue our Kabbalat Shabbat, our service of welcoming Shabbat with Lechuna Ranana. Come, let us sing joyously to God.
Lechuna ranena, lechuna ranena, lechuna ranena,
Adonai.
lechuna ranena, lechuna ranena, lechuna ranena, Adonai.
Naria, Naria, Litzuri Shenu,
Admafana Toda.
Naria, Naria, Litzuri Shenu,
Bizmirot Naria Lo. Lechuna ranena, lechuna ranena, lechuna ranena, Adonai. Lechuna ranena, lechuna ranena, lechuna ranena, Adonai.
And continuing on page 20 as we join in Lecha Dodi, as we welcome our Shabbat bride, and as we reach the last stanza, we'll rise together and turn to the door as we welcome our mystic Shabbat bride.
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Mekabela. Lecha Dodi,
Likrat Kala,
B'nei Shabbat, Mekabela. Shamor v'zachor
B'dibor
echad,
השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, ושם ותפארת לתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת
נקבלה.
בואי ושלום
שלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Please be seated as we continue, page 22. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, a psalm, a song for Shabbat.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך
עליון,
ולזמר
לשמך עליון.
להגיד
בבוקר הצדקה,
ואמונתך בלילות, עלי יסוד ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון וכינור. מזמור שיר ליום השבת,
טוב להודות לאדוני, וזמר לשמך עליון, זמר לשמך עליון. And on page 24, we join in that words of welcome, those words of welcome, Shalom Aleichem, and responding with Aleichem Shalom. On you may there be peace, and peace be upon you.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei
Kadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We rise together for Chatzi Kaddish, page 26.
Yitgadav, Yitgadav Shemei Rabbah, Ve'almadi Barachute, Ve'amlich Malchute,
Bechayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala, ba'agala, uvizman ka'ariv.
V'imaru,
Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'alam ulal me'almaya, yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach, Yitbar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, Shemei Kedusha,
Barichu.
Le'la min kol berchata v'shirata,
Tushbechata v'nechemata, dahamiran be'alma.
Bimaru,
Amen. Page 28, we join in our call to worship Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach,
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach, Leolam Va'ed. Please be seated and let's join together, top of page 30, with Ma'ariv Aravim, thanking God for the miracles and the wonders of creation. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chochma poteach sha'arim, uvitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hakochavim, v'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Uma'avir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. We turn together to page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
So we're going to try a little something different. I introduced a new Ahavat Olam about a week or two ago, thinking some people might know it, but it seemed like they didn't, so we're going to do a little repeat after me thing and try to incorporate something different. Okay. Ahavat Olam,
Ahavat Olam,
Beit Yisrael,
Beit Yisrael,
Amecha Ahavta. Amecha ahavta. And then it sort of repeats the same thing. Torah u'mitzvot,
Torah u'mitzvot,
chukim u'mishpatim,
Chukim u'mishpatim,
otanu,
Otanu,
lemadeta,
Lemadeta.
And then the rest of it is kind of all sort of one note, so just try to sing it along with me as I do it.
Great.
But let's give that a try all together, okay? Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha, Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot,
Chukim u'mishpatim.
Otanu lemadeta, Al Kain Adonai Eloheinu, B'shokbeinu u'v'kumeinu, Nasiach b'chukecha. And then it kind of does the same thing here. V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Very good.
Thank you. We'll get it eventually, I promise.
Just something different.
Absolutely. Thank you. That's lovely. We rise together as we turn to page 34 for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai
Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu. Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu. Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu. Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu. Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu. Adonai Echad. Please be seated as we continue page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot bein einecha
Uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha
leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai
Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. Page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us
Continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. As we continue, page 40, with our Song of Freedom, Mi Chamocha.
Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 ya, la, 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 lai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh.
Malchut achara uvanecha bokeh yam lifnei Moshe uMiriam, ze Elianu va'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'ne'amar kifada Adonai et Yaakov, u'gelo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. As we turn together to page 43, and we join at the very top of the page. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen.
Page 45. A thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song on the wind and in joy in the trees. Shabbat arrives in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night. Eternity utters a day. As we join in thanking God for the blessings that we have on Shabbat with Vishamru, in which we thank God for the opportunity to actively observe and shamor, guard this precious gift that we've been given of this special day.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובן בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Page 47. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. As we rise together for Amidah, page 46, Adonai sifatai tiftach ufiagit tehilatecha. Adonai, open our lips, that our mouths may declare your praise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'imahot, U'mevig Ula Livnei v'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol Tarav le'Hoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim ve'rofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, Michamocha bal gevurot, Umido melach, Melech mimit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Kadoshim b'chol yom yahalu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'elecha kadosh.
Please be seated as we continue on page 55. Let's join together at the very top of the page. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 57. Ratzei Adonai Eloheinu b'amcha Yisrael, ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. Page 59. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul or light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha v'lecha na'eh lehodot. And let's join together in our blessing for peace at the top of page 61. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lecha Shalom V'tov B'necha Levarech et Amcha Yisrael B'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך ברוך אתה אדוני
Oseh HaShalom. We take a few moments for a silent prayer, those prayers that are in our own hearts and minds.
לרצון אמרי פרי להגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי וגואלי
We turn together to page 253. We think of all those in our lives, our friends, our family, who need that energy, that extra energy of healing that we can offer as we ask God for healing. We think, too, of all those around the world who are affected through any sort of conflict. Our brothers and sisters in Israel, for sure, and those all over the world whose lives have been so profoundly impacted. In our congregation, we especially mention James Chavez, Etta Howell, Gerald Hoffman, Wendy Sherman, Cheryl Perry, Esther Northman, Michael Shervetsky, Rabbi Brad Bliefeld, Larry Lechner, and Edie Joseph. If anybody would like to add a name and you are joining us via live stream, please add the name into our chat. If you're here in person and would like to add a name, please do so as I look around. We join together in the middle of the page.
Misheverach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage
To make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheverach imotenu
Mekor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit,
and let us say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom. You have heard me say this before, that there are no coincidences in Jewish life. This is a difficult weekend for Janice and her family. This is Bruce's first yahrzeit. And Janice, after Bruce passed away, graciously donated the Ner Tamid that sits atop the portable ark. And I brought it to the service today because it is in this week's portion that we talk about the Ner Tamid. There are no coincidences. Because if you go into any synagogue in the world, there is a Ner Tamid. They are made of different materials. Some are ceramic and metal and glass and all kind of different artistic interpretations. But each synagogue has one. The question that often I get when we do tours is, where's the switch? There isn't one. Which really isn't fair to the true meaning of the idea. Because the idea is not that we just have a light that is always lit, but we have a light that we continually light, that we continually tend and maintain and make sure that is always lit. The Hebrew section says, Eish Tamid, a perpetual fire, Tukad al mizbeach, should always be burning on the altar. Lo tichbe, and it should never go out. But that takes care, and that takes work. Now imagine if you were an ancient Kohen, an ancient priest. There's a lot of work to be done in the temple. You have to clean, you have to prepare, you have to make sure the lights are lit. You have all sorts of commandments about things that you have to get ready and things that you have to prepare and all of the sacrifices that has to happen. Whew. There's a lot of things going on. It's a lot of work. A 19th century commentator said that, in fact, the perpetual fire said that the fire is something that has to be kept burning even when there's no reason for it to stay alight. So even if you don't have a sacrifice coming on the altar, you have to keep that fire burning. Even though it's Tuesday and there's no Shabbat service or there's no service, our lights are burning, tending to our eternal flame. Now, they did it without the benefit of modern conveniences. In fact, we don't even have to change a light bulb for the next 50 years. So they tell us. We'll see. We'll see. But this is sacred work. I was having a conversation with someone recently about work and what work means, what work is. The idea of work has changed dramatically, even in the last few years. Right? We have people who work from home in ways that we never, right? Josh is here not working from home. Right? We have people who are working remotely in ways we never thought we would ever have. But think for a moment if you didn't have to work. I know for those of you retired, that's, it's not a fair question. But think back, right? Think back, if life weren't dependent on what you did to support yourself, what would you have done with that time? There's a lot of fantasy that says, well, we would be more creative, we would contribute better to society, The reality is that often those who aren't working are sitting in front of the television or playing on their video games. So we don't tend to use that time for creative and positive things, but maybe that's because we're not motivated to do it. Maybe it's because that's just, there we are. But think for a moment how you tend that light. Think for a moment on what light you're caring for. Your own personal Ner Tamid. Your own personal commitment. What does it mean to care and nurture a light, a passion? Each of us has something that we are passionate about. Temple is a great place to express that. People come and commit time and energy to all sorts of different possible activities and programs and committees, and it's a great place that we can give people fulfillment so that they can continue to tend those lights in positive and constructive ways. "2,000 years ago, our sages had the same idea. They said we should love work. Ohev et mlacha. Love your work. Love what you do. I talk to people all the time. I visit the prison at Albion, and I talk to the guards. They struggle with this. They don't love what they do. I have been so deeply fortunate in my life to be able to do work that I truly love, that I love to do. Waking up in the morning it's never I gotta go to work. It's not, it's never. It's always a different day, it's a different opportunity, there are new things happening. It's a true gift. And I know not everybody has that, but the key is, how do you find within the work that you do the stuff that you love, the parts that you love, the parts that you nurture and tend as that light? And maybe one day we will get to that science fiction sort of existence where we don't have to work, where we have AI do all of the stuff that we need to do. Not a problem. We touch buttons and everything just happens. And we can sit at home and be Picasso and Rembrandt and Michelangelo. right? It's a good dream. But here, as we've come together in this parsha says that our job is to tend that light and make it bright. And so the challenge is for each of us to figure out what that light is for each and every one of us, and how we can best nurture and make it shine and glow. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to continue on page 282 with Aleinu. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטל שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס סולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום בהשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו echad. Please be seated. When cherished ties are broken and the chain of love is shattered, only trust and the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of the heart. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear. But if we dwell too long on our loss, we embitter our hearts and harm ourselves and those around us. The psalmist said that in his affliction, he learned the law of God, and in truth, grief is a great teacher when it sends us back to serve and bless the living. We learn how to counsel and comfort those who, like ourselves, are bowed with sorrow. We learn when to keep silent in their presence, and when a word will assure them of our love and concern. And so, even when they are gone, the departed are with us, moving us to live as in their higher moments they themselves wish to live. We remember them now. They live in our hearts. They are an abiding blessing. We are in the period of Shloshim for Mitzi Kernis, and we observe Yartzeit on this Shabbat for Moses Frank, Harold Rubin, Gisela Kahn, Solomon Herzog, Gussie Shapira, Malvin Strauss, William Penn, Arthur Harf, Milton Stone, Joseph J., Todd Sherman, Yetta Aaron, Fred Hess, Rosalie Brandeis Frank, Rose Cooperberg, Annie Immerman,
Rabbi Isaac Mayer Wise, Janet Lyons Levy, Babette Westheimer, and Bruce Westmershouse. If anybody who is joining us via live stream would like to add a name, please do so. And if you are here in person and would like to add a name, please do so as I look around. We rise together as we turn to words of Kaddish on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ba'alma divrach rutev v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yom echon, uv'chayei dechol bet Yisrael, ba'gala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach la'alam l'almeh almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dikutsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Please be seated. I'd like to invite Sharon and Dick Levick forward for some announcements.
Good evening, Shabbat Shalom. Services tonight are in memory of Fran and Paul Goldman and Bruce Westmershouse. Announcements, as you can see on your pamphlet here, there'll be a celebratory oneg on April 5th for Lyman Cohen's 102nd birthday. And birthday anniversaries for the month of April will be celebrated at that time as well. Rabbi is guest speaker. Join Rabbi Moray on Sunday, April 7th at 11 a.m. at Ministries of the Apostolic Faith Church, 930 Liberty Street. Yeah, it says 10th and Liberty.
You probably know where it is.
Yeah, I think most of you would know. Tat Shabbat, mark your calendars on April 19th at 5 p.m. Please RSVP to the link that will be sent into weekly emails. Gesher 1 Shabbat, join us for Gesher 1 led service on Friday, April 19th, and hope to see you all there. Shabbat Shalom.
When I awoke this morning, I knew we were coming to services tonight, and I didn't think too much about it, and I spent 2 wonderful hours outside, alone, in nature, and I started thinking about several different things. And I feel like I'm sitting at the family table, and my father says, "What did you do today? What's on your mind?" So now's my chance to speak. And when I told the rabbi I wanted 5 minutes, he said, "What do you want to talk about?" And I said, "I'd rather not say." He said, "I'd rather you did say." So, and as I was sitting in the service, I thought of a fourth thing. So I'll mention the fourth thing first, and that is every Friday, and in the last year, 2 or 3 times a week, I speak to my best friend, Brad Bliefeld. And I spoke to him today, told him we were coming to services tonight, and he asked that he be remembered to everybody. Well, Brad is very upbeat. He just completed this week a final series of radiation. He completed last month chemotherapy, and he was excited for this weekend, not only to celebrate that, but his son Herschel and granddaughter Hudson were coming to Philadelphia from Los Angeles, and his grandson Sam, who's 6, lives in Philadelphia, and he said, "I can't talk long because we have to go to Wegmans. Sam, 6, and Hudson, his granddaughter, 9, have to each get a separate challah for our family dinner tonight." And he was excited about that. He's very upbeat, and he sends his greetings to everybody. The second thing I wanted to say was I sat down next to Walter tonight, and he looked at the yahrzeit list, and he said, "Gee, I think I know or knew several of the people." And I just want to comment on one. Sharon's mother, Rose Cooperberg. Some of you may remember Rose. She died 24 years ago this weekend, unexpectedly at Spring Hill. If I tell you she was a wonderful person, that understates it. But the greatest testimony to her is her daughter and her great-granddaughters now, Rosie, who comes to Gesher here, named after her great-grandmother, and also Naomi Rose, who lives in California, who is 9 and is also named after her grandmother. The third thing I want to mention is I got a letter today from Walter Harf. I don't know if any of you received the same letter. Walter, we received your letter today. And this is a two-way stream. And I speak now from my heart, not behalf of the congregation, although I think I am thinking of the congregation. Walter's contributions are incapable of measurement. And one cannot write a letter and say, "I resign from all my committee responsibility, but I'm still going to be an active participant in all of the other aspects of the congregation." Walter is a sage. He's a wonderful friend, not only to me, but to everybody here. His experience is wonderful and is needed. And though you may not come to board meetings, Walter, you and I, in our conversations, can get a lot of things decided and discovered on the phone and campaign for others to give some of those good ideas. This congregation is forever and will be forever indebted to Walter Harf. Unique for somebody who has spent, 87 years as part of this congregation. I aspire to that, Walter. I've only got 77 years since I was 6, but I want to thank you for all of your service. The fourth thing I mentioned, the rabbi urged me not to mention, is so many people ask me, as a Reformed Jew, as a Jewish American, how do you feel about what's happening in Israel? I think it's time that as a Jewish community, nationally, that there be discussions as to how we should feel as a community. I read today that Germany, there's a feeling of they're losing confidence in the Israeli government. We heard Senator Schumer speak. There's a lot of uncertainty with regard to what's going on. And I think it's time as a congregation and as an American Jewish community that there be increased dialogue on this very important subject. Thank you. Good Shabbos.
If it would require a response, thank you.
Why not? Well deserved. The other stuff we'll talk about later, but your stuff is well deserved. You know, I think that we as a congregation have so many gifts of people who have dedicated years and years of their time, talent, and treasure to making sure that the congregation is vibrant and successful and stable and can thrive. And it is because of people like Walter who have over...
No, it's never one person. It's a whole congregation. It's a response. One person doesn't make a difference. One person may be helpful, but it's not one person. This congregation is much, much more than one name.
For sure. And the only nice part is that you are providing a good example. So, a couple other pieces of information. We just got word yesterday or the day before that Rabbi Rick Jacobs, the president of the URJ, will be joining us for our 150th anniversary. So in June, which will be a wonderful addition to our experience. And Dick, you can ask your question directly to the right guy. So, let's, as we close, we're going to close with, what are we closing with? Odyevo?
Yeah.
Odyevo Shalom. We hope their peace comes to us soon. Yes, page 353.
Odyevo Shalom Aleinu.
Odyevo
Shalom Aleinu. Odyevo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Odyevo Shalom Aleinu. Odyevo Shalom Aleinu. Odyevo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kolam. Salam, 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 aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam, salam, salam.
Let's join in Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech
haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho yahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yom tehillah למקראי קודש, זכר לציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן. חיים. Motzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said.
Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you.
See you next week.
Sounds good.